Hello. 1, 2.
Infected egos can show. Now I see higher than the light of the mountain, deeper than the depth of the ocean, further than the eye can see. Oh, me talk of spirituality, and I see wider than the weak.
A very good morning. Thanks for joining us live on the stables of EBBC 98.1 Salt FM, Abakaliki, Ebonyi State. We are reaching you from the Ebonyi State House of Assembly Complex, Abakaliki, the capital of the salt of the nation. Today, Ebonyi State Government, led by Engineer Dr. David Mozu Mahi, the Executive Governor of the state, is presenting the 2023 appropriation bill. That's the proposed 2023 budget of Ebonyi State Government to the legislative arm of the state. That's to Ebonyi State House of Assembly. Any moment from now, His Excellency the Governor, Engineer Dr. David Mozu Mahi, will arrive the Assembly Complex for this very important assignment. Already the chairman of the house, that's the speaker of the State Assembly, is already here, and already plenary session is ongoing, waiting for the arrival of the number one citizen of Ebonyi State, His Excellency Engineer Dr. David Mozu Mahi. Let me once again say a very wonderful morning to you on behalf of the Director General of EBBC, Engineer Dr. David Mozu Mahi. I beg your pardon, on behalf of the Director General of Ebonyi Broadcasting Corporation, Engineer Chief Timothy Wachi, members of management and staff of EBBC, and of course members of the outside broadcast crew of EBBC, led by Engineer Emmanuel Ekwe, Uche Michael Eze, Idam Okmani, Emmanuel Amara, Eze Naji, Chibeze Ezaka, Promise Uka, Shimakalu Oji, and of course Odoma Uga, my colleague Sandra Chugu. My name is Emenuto Ogalago. We will bring you the happenings here, all the developments as they begin to unfold. As soon as His Excellency the Governor arrives the Assembly complex, the presentation of the appropriation bill will commence, and we assure you that we will bring you the live coverage of the event on the platforms of EBBC, Nasot FM and So TV, Abakaliki.
No, na nnọkọ nke ụbọchị taa bụ nke na-ewere ọnọdụ na ụlọ nzukọ omeiwu Ebonyi steeti. O wee bụrụ nnọkọ nke Gọvanọ David Nwezomahi na-achị Ebonyi steeti ga-anọ taa wee chee mkpata ego na mmefu nke afọ 2023 n'ihu ndị otu omeiwu steeti a. Ka ọ dị, ọnụ na-ekwuchitere ụlọ nzukọ omeiwu Ebonyi steeti bụ Chief Francis Ogbonna Nwifuru na ndị otu ụlọ nzukọ omeiwu steeti a ha nọdụgo anọ wee dị nkwadobe ịnabata mkpata ego na mmefu nke afọ 2023. Ọ bụrụ na ọ bụ ugbu a ka ị gbanyere igwe okwu gị, cheta na ị na-enweta anyị na Salt FM ya na Salt TV Abakaliki.
In the tariff of EBBC in Ebonyi State, without commensurate supply of power. For instance, I traveled.
That's the voice of the Deputy Speaker, Ebonyi State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Kinsele Iko. A plenary session of the House is ongoing, and this is a part of the build-up to the main event of the day, which is the presentation of the 2023 appropriation bill of Ebonyi State government to the members of the Assembly.
So, Mr. Speaker, I think this matter is a matter we have to deliberate on and see how we will bring EBBC to these chambers to explain to us what is happening to power in Ebonyi State. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and my colleagues. I remain Honorable Ikoro.
Well, distinguished friends of this Kano chamber, dear visitors, If you are privileged to be at the gallery or at the Halo Chamber today, this is a very sacred place that you can't just get up and clap. We don't clap in this chamber. We don't clap. We legislate for the good governance of our dear states. And every word in this chamber matters. You must speak for yourself and for your constituents. So what the Deputy Speaker just did does not deserve clapping. Because what will come out from another member to counter that is what you don't know. And you should not clap or attack anybody based on the words or based on his own mindsets. Because this is the Halo Chamber. It's only the resolution of this chamber that matters. Thank you very much. Yes, leader.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues. My name is Chukwu Victor Ozom. I represent Ezza Northwest. Mr. Speaker, to talk about the exploitation, the arbitrary charges on our people by EBBC is actually quite very disheartening. Good a thing today it is raised in the hallowed chambers of this state. It is my opinion that the House, just like the Speaker rightly said, wade into that ugly situation to really probe the operational approach of EBBC in the state. To say that we are being taken for granted is just to, to be economical rewards. It is only in this state that I am sure they expect you to pay for services never rendered to you. In most cases, people will be without lights, without electricity for months, for weeks, only for a flash of sale to attract a very heavy bill. And it is unfortunate that until you pay, when they disconnect you, you don't have rights to reconnect yourself without certain penalty that is also agreeable to the disconnection you suffer for lights that you thought you never used. So, Mr. Speaker, it is a sad situation, a very worrisome situation, and I want to really thank Ebonyi people for their tolerance. The extent we have been taken for granted has surpassed such that we, by now, should have seen our people in the streets protesting the inhuman treatment, the extortions that has been meted out on them. But just in our usual disposition, we've continued to tolerate EBBC in the face of the terrible inhuman treatment that our people has continued to suffer in their hands. So, Mr. Speaker, I align myself with the submissions of the DSP requesting that this Honorable House do summon the management and staff of EBBC in Ebonyi to explain the reason for the extortions and the nonchalant attitude towards repairs of their facilities. It is unbelievable that when there's a breakdown of their facilities, it is expected that our citizens will feel safe at their cost and still pay their bills as expected. So, Mr. Speaker, I align myself.
Thank you. Kim Konoma.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My reverend colleagues, my name is Nkemka Okorono. I represent Africa Southwest in this hallowed chamber. Mr. Speaker, I rise to adumbrate on the Deputy Speaker's submissions about the ecstasies of the EBBC. Mr. Speaker, it's not only the DSP. This reckless attitude ought to be checked. Mr. Speaker, my community, Nguzu, for not having light for a period of 13 months, we've had a bill of 7 million naira. Mr. Speaker, there's a threat that if we do not pay up to 700,000, they will not reconnect light. Mr. Speaker, this transcends around my constituency, even in Ekole community, the adjacent to Nguzu. It is just the issue. Mr. Speaker, the other part that is very painful is even in the cities, for most of us that are privileged to have acquired a prepaid meter, Mr. Speaker, these meters come with a balance on them. They do not come as a 0-0 reading. And when you try to sort these things out, Mr. Speaker, they're very recalcitrant. They are lords of the billing. They are judge and jury at the same time. So, Mr. Speaker, I'll line my submissions with my Deputy Speaker and the leader, and I believe that there are many other members here that have experienced this. So we need to bring the EEDC to answer questions that impinges on the sufferings of the residents. So, Mr. Speaker, I so submit.
Distinguished colleagues, is there any other contribution? Yes, EJ Oduma.
Thank you, the Right Honorable Speaker, my revered colleagues. I remain honorable.
On your mic again.
I remain Moses EJ Oduma, representing the good people of the Igbo South. I want to align my voice to that of the DSP, and to state that it could be summarized as fraud, the activities of EBBC. Take an example of a newly installed prepaid meter. You go to insert 10,000 naira. At the end, what they will credit to you is 5,000 naira, without explaining how that comes to be.
You say if you recharge how much?
10,000 naira.
And they will debit you.
They will debit 5,000. You may not even know.
And you have a credit of 5,000.
5,000. It is verifiable, my Speaker. So I want a thorough investigation into the activities, and like I said, it could be described to be a fraud to the entire people of Ebonyi State. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Just any other contribution? Any other contribution on the matter of urgent public importance? Should I check it that those that contributed have issues of electricity in their own constituency only? The charges and the modalities, or should I take it that way? That those that didn't want to contribute are very clean, and that their constituency are not having any issue with the EEDC? Should I take it that way? Those in support on that premise, say aye.
No.
Against say nay.
Nay.
Those in support that this House set up a committee to investigate the submission of the Deputy Speaker of the State Assembly, say aye.
Aye.
Against say nay. The ayes have it. The committee will be chaired by the chairman, power, and all the power committee members should at least visit the EEDC, and they should do this in very open. It should be in camera so that everybody will know, and they should be able to explain why such deduction is going on and why they should be charging somebody for a property they did not contribute or they did not buy. Very unfortunate one is even when you buy a pole and install the pole with everything, they will still charge you and say that the property belongs to them. They should tell you the position and where it is in the law. where somebody will buy a property and another person will assume the ownership without being gifted to them by the person that purchased it. So they should also give you the evidence, because we need to know the law that empowers them to do that. Thank you very much. Distinguished colleagues, what we have in order number 6 will be a letter of His Excellency, but since the Speaker had made the announcement that His Excellency will be here, I think it's good for him to be here to read his letter by himself and present to this hallowed chamber. So since that is the case, the leader of the House and other principal officers of the House will be Sergeant at arms. So the principal officers led by the Chief Deputy Speaker should bring the Chief Executive into this hallowed chamber.
The arrival of His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Ebonyi State, Engineer Dr. David Nwozu Umahi. Any moment from now, it led to the hallowed chambers of the State Assembly at the Assembly Complex in Kaliki Road, Abakaliki, Ebonyi State, for the presentation of the 2023 Appropriation Bill of Ebonyi State. This is an annual ritual
onye ọma na-ege ntị, cheta na ụka akpara akpa isi ka eji ekwe ya. Anyị mere ka ịmata na Gọvanọ David Nwozu Umahi ga-anọ taa wee chee mkpata ego na mmefu nke afọ 2023 n'ihu ndị otu ụlọ nzukọ omeiwu Ebonyi steeti. Ka ọ dị, lekwa Gọvanọ David Nwozu Umahi ka ọ na-abata n'ime ụlọ nzukọ omeiwu Ebonyi steeti. Dịka ndị otu ụlọ nzukọ omeiwu steeti a nke Chief Ogbonna Francis Nwefuru nọ n'isi ya na-anabata ya. Anyị mere ka ịmata na dịka anyị na-aga ka anyị ga na-ewetara gị n'usoro ka mkpata ego na mmefu nke afọ 2023 bụ nke a na-echeta n'ụlọ nzukọ omeiwu steeti a ga-esi wee na-aga.
His Excellency the Governor.
National anthem.
And this is the beginning of the event. That was the national anthem. If you will just join us.
Distinguished colleagues,
Presentation of the 2023 Appropriation Bill by His Excellency to the Ebonyi State House of Assembly.
Governor of Ebonyi State, very exceptional and extraordinary leader of our great states, our dear father, a great icon, that has been able to distinguish himself in a very extraordinary way, is here again today for the last time to perform a constitutional rules that he has the authority of the law, the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, to perform at this hallowed chamber today, the 7th day of November 2022. On this note, distinguished colleagues, having joined very conducive environment at this great chamber under his leadership, having provided us with basic needs and having helped this great chamber and having expounded the legislative chamber of Ebonyi State House of Assembly and built very befitting chamber of the State Assembly. One of the first projects he started when he came in 2015, and as today is going to be his last day in this chamber to present his own budget as the Chief Executive of Ebonyi State, I urge distinguished colleagues that will do extraordinary thing by giving him a very round standing ovation first before asking him to perform any ritual in this chamber. So on this note, I call on Honorable Chinedu Ona to do justice to that my postulation.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues. My name is Chinedu Ona, and I represent the good people of Ohuku South constituency. Mr. Speaker, when you have a good market, you do not need persuasions to sell. And today, the lion of the Southeast is in our midst. The executive governor of Ebonyi State, whom God has used to give us the state of our dream, is in our midst. And I wouldn't want to bore you with a lot of adjectives to describe or qualify his personality, because we know him too well. I therefore rise to move a motion that the rule of the House be stepped down for us to stand to honor this man with a clapping ovation. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
Any seconder of the motion? Yes, Kim Konma.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, my reverend colleagues. What is worth doing is worth doing well. I rise to adumbrate on the submissions of my good friend, Honorable Ona, that we should step down the rules of the House to do justice to our amiable governor. I so second.
Those in support that the rules of this honorable House be stepped down to do extraordinary thing in this hallowed chamber in honor of our leader, the leader of the government of Ebonyi State, and the father of our dear state, the CON, and one of the best governor in our great country, Nigeria. Say aye.
Aye.
Against any name. The ayes have it. So the rule of the House is hereby stepped down. Yes, Honorable Chinedu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I remain Honorable Chinedu Ona of the Ohuku South constituency. It is on this note that I wish to request my revered colleagues and our visitors to please rise in honor of the executive governor of Ebonyi State, that man that has made a not too young to run rule or law to exist, not just in Ebonyi State, but across the nation. Mr. Speaker, that's where I stand, sir.
Any seconder of the motion?
Has been seconded.
Thank you. Honorable Onuwonye, and I represent the good people of Ohazara West. Mr. Speaker, I rise this morning to second the motion moved by my colleague and friend, Honorable Ona. I so second.
Those in support that this honorable House rise to in order to give our dear leader, the governor, the honor by allowing everybody in this chamber, including those at the gallery, to clap in honor of our leader to shout. In honor of our leader, say aye. Aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it, the House is hereby allowed to rise and honor our leader in a very loud standing ovation.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Presentation
Thank you very much, distinguished colleagues.
of the 2023 appropriation bill to the State House of Assembly.
Welcome our leaders in this hallowed chamber today. As I am celebrating my last function as regard to the presentation of budgets in this hallowed chamber today, I am very much overwhelmed that this is the 8th budget I've been able to preside in this hallowed chamber as the presiding officer of this House of Assembly and the chairman of Ebonyi State House of Assembly, first of his kind. I am very much happy and I thank God Almighty for giving me that privilege and the grace to perform that duty. So on this note, I welcome our leader, the governor of Ebonyi State, in this hallowed chamber today, Your Excellency Engineer Chief David Nwezi Umahi, fellow Nigeria Society of Engineer, fellow Nigeria Association of Technology Engineer, CON of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Governor of Ebonyi State. I welcome to his brother and friend, His Excellency Barrister Eric Kelechi Igwe, PhD Law, Deputy Governor of Ebonyi State. I welcome my dear colleague, a senior colleague of mine in this hallowed chamber, Comrade Chinedu Oga, OON. Our dear State Chairman, the Chairman of All Progressive Congress, Ebonyi State Chapter, Chief Stanley Okoro Emeya. I also welcome our dear Eroda Professor, a former Deputy Governor of our dear state, a Vice Chancellor of Ebonyi State University, a man with many character and a man that has delivered, a very renowned gentleman to the core, and a father of our dear state, a great stakeholder, a founding father of Ebonyi State, Dr. Professor Chigozie Ogu, and your dear wife, and also welcome the chairman of the founding father of Ebonyi State, Chief Francis Oji, the former deputy governor of Old Imo State. I also welcome our dear own, the chairman of the Elders Council of our dear state, Engineer Chief Ben Oka, and our own Abraham, very Reverend Dr. Abraham Chukwumanwale. I also welcome our own brother and friend, the former National Vice Chairman of the then People's Democratic Party. I am not sure the party is still in existence, but since I am in Ebonyi, I haven't seen where they are in existence, so that's why I put them. The member of our party today, the All Progressive Congress in Ebonyi State, Chief Austin Chukwuma Omahe. I welcome every stakeholder that is here, distinguished colleagues. On these notes, I therefore welcome everybody and ask you to please forgive me for breaching protocol, but let me for once of time rest on the already established one. Your Excellency, our beloved leader and father of Ebonyi State, Engineer Chief David Nweze Umahi, fellow Nigeria Society of Engineers, fellow Nigeria Association of Technology Engineers, CON, Governor of Ebonyi State of Nigeria, on behalf of my dearest colleagues, distinguished members of the 6th Ebonyi State House of Assembly, it gives me huge pleasure to welcome you, Your Excellency, for a purpose which is not only constitutional, but timely ritual in your administration, presentation of 2023 budget estimate to this chamber of Ebonyi State House of Assembly today, 7th day of November 2022. It is fitting to extend my thanks to the finance/budget team of our dear state Ebonyi, led by the Honorable Commissioner for Finance and Accountant General of Ebonyi State, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Finance, and other stakeholders in related ministries, for always applying themselves to their job to ensure proper, timely, transparent, and sincere processes in the course of preparing the state's budget estimates. These two institutions of government here today, the legislative and the executive arms, bear crucial roles in advancing economic growth, promoting good governance, and ensuring political stability in the states. However, the degree to which these goals are achieved largely depend on the sort of synergy that exists between the two arms of government. In Ebonyi State today, the relationship between us, the legislature and the executive, and of course the judiciary, has been characterized by mutual trust, purposeful synergy, dutiful partnership, clear understanding, and respect for principle of separation of power. This is no minimal measure, have entrenched a very habitual attitude of excellence in policy formulation, legislation, adjudication, and execution of those policies for optimal service delivery in our dear state. In perfect realization of the principle of checks and balances, as constitutionally provided for, we have, in the spirit of Section 4, Subsection 6 and 7, 1991, 100, 101, 126 mainly, and 129 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999 as amended, continue to encourage a various range of functions to ensure that government policies not only pass speedily, but as well as explained in constructive and clear terms to our dear constituents. We all distinguished members of this Ebonyi State House of Assembly, and indeed all Ebonyians, look forward to this significant day with great expectation. We are assembled to receive the unfolding of the state's fiscal plan for the year 2023. I have no single doubt that this well-articulated documentation or document is a citizen budget because of your constant openness to citizen participation while preparing this all-important financial document. This function being the last of such to be entertained by the 6th Assembly of Ebonyi State today, that is happening today, 7th day of November 2022, makes it even more significant in every sense. The legislators are ever ready to pounce on the document, give it accelerated hearing, and ensure its speedy passage so that Ebonyians will have no split in their consistent socio-economic gains from your good governance for more than 7 good years now. It is on record, Your Excellency, and distinguished leaders of RDS that are here, that you have always maintained a proper budget cycle that is reliable and practicable, which helped in the execution of the fiscal policies and programs of RDS State. We consider it appropriate and necessary that the cycle has remained the same, running from January to December. The legislatures and the executive will work assiduously to ensure that the fruits of your hard work are realized as always. Let me assure you, Your Excellency, distinguished leaders of our states, that the Assembly, after this important occasion, will swing into swift action and begin to work on this budget estimate. This is to show our commitment, willingness, and capacity to accelerate legislative matters that will impact on the lives of our citizens with dispatch, with every sense of duty and love. Your Excellency, in doing this, we will also be guided by the legislative requirement of a thorough scrutiny. It is on these notes as well, Your Excellency, that we, the legislators, are ready to receive and welcome the Honorable Commissioners and other heads of government agencies for the defense of their budget estimate to ensure timely passage. All MDAs are expected to appear before the committees for the defense of their budget estimates within the next 2 weeks to be the window for all budget to be defended in this year. Your Excellency, it is very gratifying to know that despite the state's mega resources, you have been able to prudently drive the economy of the Ebonyi State in the upward trajectory. To the astonishment of all and sundry, your proper resource allocation pool is laudable. You carefully identify areas of weaknesses in the state's economy and allocate resources in a useful and sustainable manner. Notwithstanding the economic times in the country at the moment, you devise creative ways of generating means to fund mammoth projects like the airports, shopping mall, flyovers, various road realization, badges of empowerment, and very many capital projects to secure the future of our dear state, Ebonyi. These massive projects are in truth visible sign of leader who has an eye for the future well-being of our people. It is therefore our position as lawmakers of Ebonyi State that you, Your Excellency, must not relent in this physical stage. So the nation and the world await you. As we congratulate you on your giant stride, we implore you, Your Excellency, to always sustain the appropriate consultation that have long existed between the two arms of government in the states, especially ensuring, as always, the release of funds for capital projects of the internal source of the capital project for Ebonyi State House of Assembly, and also the purchase of the Deputy Speaker's pilots. We humbly solicit the release of funds for those items and for the building of the new House of Assembly chamber. On our part, as already promised, we are ever ready to get to work and thoroughly examine and scrutinize the appropriation bill to ensure that it passes speedily for timely implementation. Therefore, on these notes, I invite you, Your Excellency, our leader, a bridge builder, a father of the fatherless, and Athanatos, the great leader of our dear state, the governor of Ebonyi State of Nigeria, to deliver a great speech and lay before us the 2023 appropriation bill for the consideration of Ebonyi State House of Assembly, in accordance with the provision of Section 121, Subsection 3 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as amended. Thank you, and may God bless every one of you. You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I don't know whether this is working. Is it working? Please, my team be seated. Mr. Speaker, I think you're the longest serving speaker, as I was told, in the history of Nigeria. That shows that you're a good speaker that you are. Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Ebonyi State, the Speaker, the Deputy Speaker of Ebonyi State House of Assembly, the Leader of the House, floor functionaries, the APC House of Representatives of Ikwo Ezza South Federal Constituency, the Honorable House of Assembly members, the clerk, the chairman of our great party, Your Excellency is the former Deputy Governor of Imo State and chairman of Founding Fathers, Your Excellency, the former Deputy Governor of Ebonyi State and the Vice Chancellor of Ebonyi State University, Her Excellency, the wife of the former Deputy Governor, wife of the former Chief Judge, all the non-serving House of Assembly members and National Assembly members, the ESCO members, the market women, all the NGOs, Chairman of PDP, my dear brothers and sisters, this is a speech by me on the occasion of the presentation of 2023 budget estimates and appropriation bill of Ebonyi State Government, today the 7th day of November 2022. Mr. Speaker, I consider it a great honor and special privilege from the Almighty God to be here again in this hallowed chamber of the State House of Assembly to commit to the annual constitutional ritual of budget presentation, which is to lay before this Honorable House the financial estimates of the revenues and expenditure of the state for 2023. This year's budget presentation is very special as it is the last appropriation bill to be presented by our administration. I will therefore seek your indulgence in the course of this address to highlight some areas we have made progress in the last 7 years and a half in some critical areas such as in education, health, agriculture, critical infrastructure, human capital development and good governance, having regard to our 5-fold covenants, core values and our mission statement, which were rolled out in our blueprint during our first and second inaugurations of 2015 and 2019. Statement of our mission and covenant. Our promise and vision as an administration were vividly captured in our mission statement and 5-fold covenants as follows. Our mission statement. Our mission is to enhance the welfare of our people and empower all Ebonians to be self-reliant through the compassionate delivery of transparent and God-fearing governance based on integrity and dignity. The 5-fold covenant with God. To serve Ebonyi State with the fear of God, to prosper Ebonyi State with the word of God, to make Ebonyi State the #1 economy in the whole country, to passionately help the widows and the oppressed, to build a befitting place of worship like Solomon did, so that any Ebonyian that is faced with any difficulty anywhere in the world and turns to the direction of the temple and calls upon the name of the Lord, God will answer such prayers. So far, administration has been true to the promises made and the covenants in our social contract with the people of Ebonyi State who freely elected us. Today, our trajectory as a state is built on the cardinal principles of equity and good conscience, transparency, accountability, and God-fearing governance that is based on integrity and dignity, fair allocation of resources that will stimulate economic development, and people-oriented projects that will enhance entrepreneurial development and industrialization. Highlights of our budget from 2015 to 2023. We have in the previous financial years progressively built on the manifestos that brought us on board, and we have made strategic budget formulation that helped us to consolidate our budgetary performances right from 2015 when we came on board. We have continued to maintain the best standards in our budgeting process prioritization, both in our capital and recurrent expenditure. We have consistently prioritized capital budgets over our recurrent budgets, which evidently triggered a miraculous revolution in core areas of education, health, agriculture, and critical infrastructure. Table 1 below shows our budget for the year 2015 to 2023, including the budget acronyms, which reflect our policy directions and milestones. While Table 2 shows progressive rise in budgetary processing from 2015 to 2023. In 2015, you could see a low budget estimate of 75.884 billion and a core budget of reposition. But let me make a remark that from information available to our administration from this hallowed chamber regarding 2015 budget up to May 28, 2015. The 2015 budget was presented to the State Assembly, which was not passed as at May 28th of May 2015. The previous administration was said to have operated 2014 budget up to May 28, 2015, and that action was in line with the law. So therefore, the budget of 2015 as listed here is said to be a budget by my administration effective May 29th, 2015 to December 31st, 2015. And so you can see why that budget is that very low. It should be budget for about 7 months. And so in 2016 we have a budget of 101 billion, budget of divine actualization. In 2017 we have budget 127 and it's called Budget of Inclusive Growth and Poverty Reduction in Economic Recession. In 2018, we have budget 208, and it's called Budget of Divine Manifestation. We have started to manifest at that stage. And in 2019, you have budget of divine fulfillment. And in 2020, you have budget of growth, consolidation, and transformation. In 2021, they have budget of stabilization and consolidation in a recession, which means we survived 2 recessions. And in 2022, we have budget of latter rain, which must be greater than that of first rain. And here we have budget of 139 billion, which is budget of divine mandate consolidation and continuity, which means we are continuing this government into the next 4 years from May 29 with divine mandate that brought us in power. If you look at table 2, page 5, you will be able to see the budget outlays and the percentage of implementation. It's important to know that in 2015 budget implementation was 43, and 2016 it was 47, 2017 56%, 2018 43%, 2019 38%. But come to 2020 when we join the sectors, and for this we must be thankful to Mr. President, World Bank, the Minister of Finance. That's where we joined sectors, and of course we've made a lot of grants from sectors and came top in most of the parameters of competition. And in these sectors, the aim is for transparency and to make budget estimates to be almost equal to the expected receipts. And so you can see our budget performance in 2020, about 87.69%, and in 2021 we got 97%, and 2022 we got 87%. And I would ask Mr. Speaker to ensure that in 2023 that we have 99%. Page 4. Our major achievement from 2015 to 2022. Our major performance or rate of implementation of budget became much better than 2020 when we started to participate in sectors with World Bank and Federal Minister of Finance. In this process, each year's expected financial receipts are made almost equal to budgetary expenditure. We have average budget performance of 90.97 in 3 years of 2020, 2021, and 2022. That's when we started to participate in sectors. Our major achievements are attestation that we have kept the faith with our promises to the people. In each of the financial years, we have strived to aggressively tackle infrastructure based on the solid story of the past. We have strived to reset the perception of our contemporaries, rejig their educational and human capital status, revamp our health and agricultural sector, and stimulate the private sector-driven economy. The tables below capture the achievements in the key sectors from 2015 to 2022. Some of our NDA's achievements for each financial year. Time will fail me to read our achievement, but I'm going to, make you very happy by reading some of the, what we did. In 2015, under Ministry of Works, you have construction of Akanu-Ibiam roundabout 23-span, flyover bridge, completed 2015, started 2015 and completed in 2016. Construction of Presco Junction, which is Ofiawali, flyover bridge 23-span, started 2015, completed 2016. Construction of International Market, that's Margaret Omahi flyover bridge 25-span, started October 2015, completed October 2016. Reconstruction of Abakaliki-Afikpo Road, 14.5 kilometers, Federal Road, started in 2015, completed in 2017. Reconstruction of Amasiri-Oposibru Road, 23.5 kilometers, started December 2015, completed 2017. Construction of Hilltop Nwofe Road, 23 kilometers, started December 2015, completed 2017. Construction of Gulf Quarry Express Road, Azaz Road, 7 kilometers, started December 2015, completed June 2017. Construction of Ndiagu layout road, 6.6 kilometer, started 2015, completed 2017. Rehabilitation of 14 streets within Abakaliki city, 5.7 kilometer, 2015, completed 2017. Construction of Umunze Akanka road, Mbam Abo phases 1 and 2, 6.77 kilometers, 2015, completed 2017. Construction of Piripiri Junction St. Patrick, started December 2015, completed 2017. These are just some of the roads. Time will fail us to name all the roads we started in 2015. In the education, School of Nursing and Midwifery in Ubru, started 2015, completed 2017. The Virology Center was also started in 2015 and completed in 2017. Ministry of Internal Security, purchase of 70 units of Nissan pickup van for police. Ministry of Human Capital, horticulture to 6 persons selected. The empowerment of our people with 1 billion, and each receive 1 million. Ministry of Health, baseline survey of all health facilities in Ebonyi State, control of epidemic, control of 3 major diseases, attraction of partners and donors agencies, support with fetal robust immunization. I'm not going to read fund in rice and cassava functions. Ministry of Power, I'm not going to read it. In page 10, you have Ministry of Local Government. All the projects done by local government are there. In 2016, again, Ministry of Agriculture, you have 23-span flyover of Ofiawali. It's difficult to go through all, but we go to page 12. The construction is still ongoing, like construction of Uburisu Road, 12.3 kilometers, started 2016, completed 2018. Ogwonzerem Okwe Road, started 2016, completed 2018. Umuagara Road, started in Nigeria North, 12.2 kilometers, started 2016, completed 2018. Construction of Izei Iwele Deloha Omenyi Road, started in 2016, completed 2017. Construction of Onuiboji Ebekwe Road, started 2016, completed 2017. In page 13, you have construction of 231 classroom blocks across the state, reconstruction of and renovation of 17 mission school, construction of 10 numbers bedroom story building for model schools, installation of solar power in 20 schools. That's under education. Under human capital, you have diaspora empowerment. 520 street hawkers to keep them off the street in Lagos with 250,000 each. You have the state government assisted Ebonyans in UWIN program with 1 million naira each. In Ministry of Health, you have construction and equipping of Ultra Modern Virology Center